There's only one reason why I bought this ESR case, and it's this thing right here. It's a kickstand that goes this way, but ESR calls it the Flickstand, not a kickstand, and would I get this product if I was a reviewer? It's a pass for me. Let's get into it. Now, when it comes to design and build quality, this case comes in a multitude of different colors. It's got a very, very smooth finish, and the branding is there, but it's pretty minimal. There's stuff right there. There's a bit of branding right here, and weird letters along the bottom of the iPhone case. I don't know why ESR does that. This clear case is, like all other clear cases, a grease magnet. Fingerprinting is going to be an issue. Now, this kickstand is fairly unique because it's vertical, but unique doesn't mean it's useful because it's very problematic from a usability standpoint. You have your typical ESR hollow camera guard, and ESR has included small feet on the back of the case so that your iPhone doesn't slide around as easily and it prevents the back from scratching too quickly. I appreciate the small details. Now, when it comes to weight and bulk, this case weighs 54 grams, which is a little heavier than average. It's about 13.2 millimeters thick, so it's going to make your iPhone feel 60% thicker. This case looks like it's a thin case, but it's got a bit of heft behind it. Now, when it comes to using your iPhone, there's a bit of help in terms of grip because of the TPU edges. The back is incredibly smooth. In fact, the back of this case is smoother than my screen protector. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Buttons on this case are integrated. They aren't flow through, and they feel very, very squishy. Not great. There is a decent taper on the edge of this case. The tops and bottoms are higher than the rest of the case, so swiping from left to right, your case edges aren't going to get in the way. They're also very, very rigid, which I appreciate. Let's talk about the Flickstand. It should actually be called the Kickstand because you got to get your fingernail under it in order to use it. Now, this looks like it would be a good idea, but this thing is incredibly unstable. Like, it just, because ESR tried to be clever and like hide the edge of the case with the kickstand, they made it round. And so when you set it up in this orientation, it falls over very, very easily. Like, it just, why? And unlike other stand accessories, you can't really, oh my gosh, you can't really use this thing as a grip because it's just, the center of gravity is completely off. Got a spot for your lanyard, and the camera cutout is actually quite nice. It's symmetrical and it just flows with the edge of the case. So I appreciate that. Now, when it comes to MagSafe strength, in terms of pulling things off, it took about 11.9 newtons, which is way higher than the average of 7.5. And to pull things off, it took about 10.5 newtons, which is higher than the average of 9. It takes a bit of effort to rotate the accessories as well. It's about 5.5 newtons, which is above average. And I do have to give props to ESR because they've embedded the magnets for the lower array into the kickstand. Like, that is pretty cool from my perspective. When it comes to protection, the edge is TPU, the back is polycarbonate. This case doesn't have a whole lot of flex to it, but most of the drop protection is going to come from the TPU edge. The build quality for this product is decent. I couldn't find any big flaws with it, though a bad drop may scuff up the finish of the metallic Flickstand. And because of the rubber feet, this thing's not going to go sliding off a table if you are so inclined to throw your iPhone off a table. And as usual, I'm not a big fan of ESR's implementation of the camera protection lip because this piece becomes a giant pocket for dust and debris. So yay, make your iPhone look dusty and debris. Now, when it comes to protection, this case is slightly below average. It does an okay job of absorbing the initial impact, but the subsequent forces all go into the iPhone. That's based on my testing. Just by looking at this case, I wouldn't have expected that, but that's what the iPhone shows in my drop test, so yikes. I will admit, though, that at this price range, there aren't many cases that are better in terms of protection. And when it comes to face first drop protection, that sounded pretty good. The case has pretty high edges between the top and the bottom. There's about a 2 millimeter clearance, so your iPhone screen's not always eating dirt when it's placed on a flat surface. In terms of popping the corners off, it's pretty easy to do so. I think it's in the low 40s in terms of force required to pull the iPhone off. So a bad drop this way, your screen protector is going to eat dirt. Now, this case is going to set you back by about $22. The average cost of an iPhone case is around $45. So this is a budget product. So at $22, you get below average iPhone access. The kickstand is borderline unusable from my perspective. You get below average iPhone protection. Are there any extras to like prop up this case? There's a lanyard attachment point on this side, like yay. So would I get this case if I was a reviewer? The answer is no. If you want to know what I think are the better cases to get, do check out my channel as well as the playlist of the 10 cases that I would personally recommend. If you're going to get one, make sure you use my links because I'm an unsponsored channel. No one's paying me to make these videos. All I want to do is just figure out what the best accessories are for your mobile devices. Thanks for watching.